See what happens.
Good defense by Hartenstein. It's going to be a bucket for the Nuggets. Oh! And off the glass. Seconds. Barton. Here he comes. There it goes. And it's good! So the Denver Nuggets putting on the Ritz. Porter. Little fall away. That's off the mark. Millsap stretches. Nope. And Gary Harris comes up with a loose ball. Oh, what a pass! Millsap, the no-looky variety. Trailblazers. Let's go back to Millsap with a Murray. Looking for Porter. He's got him. Porter, corner jumper. Got it! MP.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Winners Lounge.
The all of the Nuggets are good.
I'm so bad at the
Deb,
horns.
you know what's going on, though, man.
I'm
you know,
so bad at the horns. I should have did something else.
you should have done something. You should have done Eagle, anything, lightning,
Eagle?
whatever it is.
Spear
How
fingers.
did you cut the music already, Kel? Because what? It's a Winners Lounge. Kel, it's a Winners Lounge. We vibe.
Let Kale breathe. He's working hard.
We vibe when it's a Winners Lounge, especially one. There it is. Look at that. There it is.
Let Kale live.
Vibes back. Vibes back.
Guys, this was as fun as a preseason, meaningless preseason game can be. You got the Portland Trailblazers.
Yes,
You know,
Jack.
just absolutely, running them out the gym from the jump.
It's inspiring effort from Dame, just grinding out the 2020 loss.
You get the first stringers looked good. I thought the second stringers looked good.
Yeah,
I thought the third stringers looked good.
Yep.
Well, who looked bad?
Well,
Well, I mean,
don't
Adam,
bring us down, Dad.
it's not like it went all the way down to like Marcus Howard and Flacco.
Well,
it
it all the way
wait a
down to
second.
those guys. They
It
even
did.
looked good. So welcome in, everybody, obviously, to the Winners Lounge here at DNVR, the DNVR bar. Empty, not quite atmospheric at the moment,
But my heart is full.
my heart is also full. You guys know me. I'm Adam Matas. I'm joined by Duvalier.
Superstar Dev.
Superstar Dev.
No,
Sorry.
Devalier.
Superstar Dev. I'm joined by Superstar Dev.
Dev just makes it it's just cool. It's
Is
just
it
calm.
cool?
It's just cool.
All right. Then I got a not quite a superstar
Yeah.
vote here.
Brendan.
Yeah, role player vote.
Hello. Hey,
Cool
fellas.
guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Cool guy. And then I've got the coach of the team over here, D-Line.
That's right. Let's go, baby. Dude, I am so hyped. Preseason? I think I put out on Twitter, like, do we even need to play this season? Like,
I don't think we should. So it's funny because like hope
Oh, my God.
does spring eternal, in the hearts and minds of Denver Nuggets fans, especially when you get into the preseason, you get all those good things flowing. But I got to be honest with you guys, watching this team tonight, and look, some of it was they just made shots, but man, 39 assists, the
That
ball
was
was moving. You just got guys like. I feel like there's 17 guys on this roster, and I feel like almost all of them get it. They almost all get with the program. They know what the team's about. They're moving it. And the other guys are trying. They're trying to work it in there. Dev, give me your first overarching takeaway from this dominant win, from the preseason win from the Nuggets.
I say that the second unit was the biggest thing for me that just really stood out. Coming off a game that they didn't really look good, and the starters did look good. It was kind of down. It was down on morale just to see a team that looked so well have a second unit that wasn't doing well. Now we're back to a strong second unit, what we've seen in this one game, and now you could go in with a lot of more positives. So I think that was my biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, 39 assists. That's it for me. Everyone was just about everyone had a moment except for JaMychal Green, who almost had a moment.
He did have a moment. It just didn't count.
It just didn't count. He almost had a moment.
But yeah, Dev's right. It's the second unit, which was the big concern after that first game. And if that was at the top of your wish list, cheers on a good night.
Yeah. Eric, what about you, man?
So let me think here. Will Barton came back. He's incredible.
That's one of that might be storyline number one. I mean, that's a big one.
Every single player in the Nuggets is good. Jokic doesn't have to try, and he can clown the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Nurkic has the worst hair I've ever seen in my life, and
Yeah.
nothing's ever made me happier. I don't know.
He brought up the whole game. That's the only note he had. It was just, look at that hair.
Is there anything else to bring up from the game? Honestly, like let's get into the meat of this thing.
Well, so I am actually going to start us off on this conversation by going to Will Barton because he missed that first game. There's been a lot of questions about where does he get on this roster, like the first unit. We all think fully optimized that first unit's going to have a little bit of everything: playmaking, shooting, defense. So you add him to the mix. Does he make him better? I think he does. Like it just makes that first unit better. But we watched that second unit Campazzo was really good. Dozier really good. Monte Morris really good. Maybe you didn't need, maybe that lineup needed more scoring and less facilitating. So maybe, you thought of him there. You put him to the bench tonight, and look, it's just one preseason game. These sample sizes are really small. But it sure seemed like that unit went from one that had never met each other and was a little bit clunky to all of a sudden it was like every play was a layup or a wide open three. It felt to me like he completely unlocked it. Is that what you think watching this game?
Yes, and the thing about putting Barton out there as opposed to maybe any of those three guys alongside the other two is he is both. He is both a playmaker and a scorer. And when asked after the game what he thought about playing with the second unit, for those of you who are worried about if Barton's committed to that, he gave a really great answer about how he likes playing with those guys. He said, I have a lot of options, a lot of playmakers out there. So it may be the case, guys, that Barton, this is a weird dynamic. He's playing so well, he gets relegated to the bench.
We were joking before that this is like if you're at an office and the printer breaks and everyone's like, what do we do? Like, who's going to fix it? Then you go up and fix it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Brendan, he's the guy that fixes the copier every time. And you're just like, damn it, why did I fix that?
That's actually a true story.
That's a true story. This is what happened with Barton. It was like, okay, the second unit, I don't know what it is. Oh, Barton, you did such a good job at the second unit. We're going to stick you there permanently now. It might have been one of those things. I mean, what did you see of Barton, Dev? What did you see of him tonight with that second unit? And also, what do you think about the idea of maybe he is perfect for the bench unit?
Well, I think that was like, if he wants to be a starter, he shouldn't have came out and had a game like that. Just because
shame on him.
for the bench unit to have so many questions and how do we get better and have such a bad performance, and then he comes back in and then it's just like, oh, we look so good. Now it's easy for Malone to pitch. Look how natural you looked. But another thing with that is, why wouldn't Barton want to come off the bench? Because now the pressure is off of you. Now you get to have the ball. Like you said, like he said, there's options now. So you get to put him in his spots. He gets to take shots. You're not bad if Barton. You're not mad if Barton is the one that's taking the shots when it's just him in the unit, and there's everyone else that's just facilitating. And like we've seen, the ball was popping. So you have a player that can score.
Popping. Dev is the first one to say the ball is popping on this show, man. He somehow beat me to the punch on this.
I think the ball popped. I think it's like
it popped so much that it just exploded. I mean,
exploded. Yeah. So it's just great to see Barton just get put into a spot because he's a baller. He's going to go out there and he's going to do whatever he wants. He's a freestyle type of player. So put him in the second unit where you have other type of freestyle players, and it's not on him. When he makes a mistake in the starters, you're like, oh man, you had Jokic open. If he makes a mistake with the second unit, it's like, well, we know what Barton does.
Right.
So I would want to go into that spot and have nothing all on me. I don't want every single thing on me. Put me in the second unit.
Somebody, I see Noah Tucker in the chat here says the ball is fucking.
All right, Noah.
The ball is honking.
I mean, should we save the Facu?
No, let's save it for later because he's not one of the top stories. I want to stick with Barton for a little bit here because, I mean, I'm with you, man. Like, Barton, to me, he is that guy that has just always gotten the short end of the stick with Nuggets fans, man, because, and look, let's be honest, sometimes he is a gunner. Like, that's his nature, is that he is an aggressive player, and when you don't notice the 90% of the time when he's the appropriate amount of aggressive. You only notice when he goes over that. And I don't think he's a chucker as in like a guy that you can't, he's not like Jordan Clarkson or one of these guys where it's like, yeah, he gets it, he's just going up with it. I just think that he's aggressive and stuff. And to your point, I think it's a great one. That second unit, maybe they need that guy. Maybe they got a bunch of finishers. Hartenstein, who we're going to talk about next. JaMychal Green, who can spot up or whatever. Then you got Monte and Facu, who or Composure tonight, who can create. I don't know. Barton, I really liked what I saw from him, and he'll get a chance to close games. Do you think that this is a role, one, that fits him, and two, that he will embrace?
Well, I think it certainly fits him. I mean, it's hard to draw any negative conclusions from anything that happened tonight. Like, I'm racking my brain for like what they can work on. Like, I mean, the problem with the second unit in the first game is that it was just different people than it was tonight. When you make it different people, it plays differently. Barton was an absolute, the funny thing is that on a team with 87 guards, like Barton was still the one running the show. Like he was still with Monte and PJ, both point guards. Barton was the one controlling the ball, and he was doing a really good job with it. And I'm having a hard time here. Like just the amount of delicious Nuggets goodness that I was served, I'm having heart palpitations. I don't know what to do with myself.
Are we overdoing this?
No,
because it's a preseason game. It's a preseason game.
No,
I think
let's do it more.
Listen, you have to if I presented you 2 options, every player looks bad or every player looks good, which one are you
would
taking?
rather take the good one.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
The other guy that really stood out to me, there's a couple guys actually. Honestly, we can go. This list is going to be long of guys that stood out well tonight. But we go to the top of the list, and this might actually be my number one, my own personal number one. Isaiah Hartenstein
looked incredible.
Isaiah Hartenstein, I thought tonight really stood out. I just did an episode of the list on his passing because if you watched him in the G League, he had very good passing numbers. You know, like especially per 36, like it looked like, hey, this is a Mason Plumlee type guy, or maybe even a little bit better. You watch the highlights, and what I put on the list, which is up on the DNVR.com for members. If you're a member, you can look at all these clips and analyze for yourself. He makes some really impressive plays, and then he makes almost equally as many impressive plays that end in a turnover. You know, everybody knows that in the high school you had that big guy that could kind of bring the ball up the court, but he would always take one extra dribble right into a defender or something, and it's like, man, he almost pulled it off every time. Well, he had a lot of those. Tonight, you saw the high-level passing. I mean, he had, I don't know, how many assists did he actually finish this game with? 3 assists, but he had some really, really like A-plus plays in this one. Dev, what's your takeaway on Hartenstein's game?
Well, the thing is, when the Nuggets lost Jeremy Grant, you know, the thing is, how is JaMychal Green going to do? But what doesn't get talked about a lot is the loss of Mason Plumlee. Now you have a player that's really similar, looks just like Mason Plumlee, plays just like Mason Plumlee. That makes, what, $1.5 million or something like that? So you have a replacement player that's just like the place that you just lost. It makes it a lot easier for him. Hartenstein came out today. He passed the ball. He's very active on the boards. He puts himself in positions. And also, like on that ridiculous pass, he's a great finisher. You have a big body that's out there. He's doing a lot of things that the big men are not supposed to be able to do. It's great to have a replacement that reminds you of the old.
Well, I'm now looking for the differences between Hartenstein and Plumlee, and one to me, at least tonight, it's one preseason game, he was making some quick decisions, and that's not something that I would ascribe to Mason. I don't think he I mean, look, he is a capable playmaker, but I don't know if the ball necessarily just pops off of him the way that it did Hartenstein tonight. So it's just something I'm watching.
I'm not ready to say Hartenstein is a better passer than Plumlee because I think Plumlee's a really good passer.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a really good passer.
But tonight he was. Like tonight he was as good or better than Mason Plumlee's average or whatever.
And I don't even know about better. I just thought tonight at least it was quick. It was quick. He made his decisions quick. Nothing lingered, and he was either finishing a play or moving the ball.
And he finished well. I mean, that's another one of the things that he the advanced metrics really show, and in the film really shows, is that he has pretty good touch around the rim. He's got the lefty really goes with a lot of these like left little shots that he's got a little Paul Millsap to his touch, where it always looks like he put up an ugly shot or and it goes in.
He's got a little
that left-handed one he pops up.
Little Michael Jordan. Well, that's just what I was saying. I don't know.
Little Michael Jordan. I was really impressed with him tonight, and he was one of the guys I really wanted to key in and see the most from.
Totally.
And it was also 4 for 4 from the field. He gets 9 points. He was a +9, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. It was a little bit of everything. He got a block as well. So he gets a little bit of everything. He did have 5 fouls in 14 minutes, which was one of his. If you mind the stats for him, he fouls a lot. So tonight it kind of gets with that, but A grade from him. In fact, I guess we could do it now. We have our dunk contest stuff here. What would you rate? What would you guys rate Isaiah Hartenstein tonight? Hand me one. If Harrison's not going to be here, I'm going to take one.
Screw Harrison.
Yeah, screw Harrison.
What is he doing? Journalism?
Oh, look at this. Look at that. Acknowledge our graphic. Rate it. Rate it. How would we rate Hartenstein tonight?
I wish I was sitting next to D Wade.
All right.
Actually, Dev is a.
It's first day of school, guys. It's first day of school. First week of school. I'm giving 10.
You're giving 10.
I'm giving 10. Dude, this was a really impressive game, I thought, from Hartenstein. I was very, very impressed with what I saw.
I'm giving him a heart 9.
You're leaving him no headroom. No headroom.
It gets harder as it goes on. When you show up to school, at the first day of school, it's like, all right, it's an easy test. And then, by mid-year, you're like giving a hard test. All right. And then Will Barton, what are you guys going to give him tonight on his grade?
Oh, my gosh. Willie B. Buckets the third?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm a good grader today. I'm the teacher everybody wished they had. I'm giving him a 10. I'm giving him a 10. He was great,
Reminds me
man.
of my degree in television production.
Yeah, is that right? Is that what it was?
You get an A+.
In the comments, guys, let us know. We can see them here, what your grades were for Barton, what your grades were for Isaiah Hartenstein.
Got a 9/10? Well, I think that's a 910.
A 910, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Impressed with both. The next guy I want to talk about, guys, we can't go too long without talking about the big fella. the Joker,
Oh,
the
man,
future
dude.
MVP,
Dude.
Yeah, we can give.
You know what?
give a grade.
I think I might just get rid of all of these numbers and just keep the 9 out of the 10. The stonks, dude.
The stonks are up high. What are we giving here? What are we giving here? 10.
10,
man.
10,
Just
10, 10,
dump
10,
a bucket
10.
of cold water on me, guys. I'm getting hot over here.
So, guys, he's got the eye of the Joker.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got the eye of the Joker right now in
out.
his eye. I'm not kidding, man. He's got 12 points tonight. He's got 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He goes 4 of 7 from the field. He did have 5 turnovers. He was a little wild.
You know
out
what?
there.
All right, I'm going to knock him down to just a standard 10.
Yeah, that's a standard 10. He did also have 2 block shots, guys. He's the rim protector we all knew he could be. No, but seriously, the game just looks so easy for him right now. We talked about it last time, where we were shocked he had 26 points. This game, it was just like, when did the graphic come up in the early third quarter? We're like, oh, he almost has a triple-double? He's been on the court for like 13 minutes? I mean, the game is just, it's always come easy to Jokic, but he just looks like he is in cruise control out there.
I think that's it. And, that playoff run and then going right into the game looks easy to him right now. And look, preseason games, of course, for a guy like Jokic, it's not difficult, but it is hilarious. Guys are out there fighting for a rotation spot, and this dude's just trying shit. He's just doing whatever because he's bored, and it's working.
Dude, the craziest thing about Jokic's night is that he just kept doing things, and all we could, like, the only response that we could muster was just laughter. It was like, we were like, what? Because Jokic single-handedly made Paul Millsap the leading scorer of the game. He just kept feeding him, like,
Yeah, dude.
1 inch from the...
Handed him 10 points.
Deb, your takes seem to be a little more muted, so I'm going to ask you, do you see the eye of the Joker?
Well, first off, the puns are here, and they're not leaving. I can see that this is what you guys do.
This is what we do, baby.
I'm new to this, but this is what you guys do.
A lot of bad jokes.
Plenty of them. But, no, really, Nikola, it was great today. It seems like it's a game. I think that he really just says, like, I think he asks his brothers or whoever he talks to, like, what should I try today? Really, I'm kind of bored. What can I do that's kind of fun? I think that, like us media people, we try to do something, or there's, like, people that go on air and they just try to say, like, a point just to get it out, just to, like, bring some excitement. I think he needs to bring some type of excitement. We've seen Jokic for how many years, and we still are just like giggling whenever he does something that he's been doing for years.
No, I'm telling you, by midseason, it starts to not wear off, but you start taking it for granted. Because I'm telling you, every time I go a month without seeing Jokic, and then he starts, like tonight, I felt like tonight he had like 9 highlight plays. And if you go back and watch it, they were awesome. But like I'm telling you, at some point we're going to start like raising the bar unfairly, where we're like, I don't know, that was just a behind the back one-handed outlet pass. I don't know.
It's simple.
You say raising the bar, you mean knocking this bar down with our excitement because you just run through walls?
It is true, man. It is true. What is the question?
Why is there 3 empty glasses and a bottle
well,
of brandy?
it was not a
Why,
bottle of
you
brandy.
say?
You might have said. I'm gonna
Why
really F
indeed?
this up.
It kind of is.
I'm gonna. It is brandy. It's rakia, right?
More of a
Rakia.
translation.
Rakia. So somebody, if you guys don't know,
Chris Morley,
a homie,
The
fan
homie.
of the homie, a fan of the show, sent this to us as a Christmas gift, which I didn't even know we were accepting. But it turns out we are accepting Christmas gifts. If anybody wants to,
You didn't know we were accepting free stuff?
well, I didn't think anybody would think of us. So.
I will accept all gifts that you guys don't want to accept.
Especially if they're alcohol. So a little bit later in the show, we got to wait for Harrison. We can't do this without the whole squad here.
Let's just get wasted on Rocky and see if Harrison can keep up.
And of course, Harrison, if you guys are new to the show, our beat reporter, he is up talking right now with Michael Malone. Who else was coming to the mic today? Do you guys remember?
Will
who was?
Barton's
Will
gonna
Barton
talk.
will talk, which
Might
I
be
can't
Paul
wait to
Millsap
hear.
as
Gosh,
well.
the sermon.
Sermon. Well, he always gives a sermon when he's there. No, but Jokic. So the reason I threw this to you is, when I say the eye of the Joker, I honestly think that Jokic is like in a different headspace than ever before, and I don't know if I'm projecting onto it. Are you seeing that, or are you? We'll wait and see.
Well, I think with him and Jamal Murray, I think that they're just comfortable. We always talked about them being the young guys. We talk about them still learning the ropes and still having to prove themselves. Now I feel like they have proved themselves. They're like, this is what I do. So I really do think that he's just like, before it was like, I don't really want to go to the All-Star game. I don't want to get my hopes up and things like that. Now he's an All-Star,
Right.
multiple-time All-Star.
Right.
He's like, this is what I do. Like,
Right.
I'm one of the best players in the entire world. This is normal for me.
Yeah.
So I think that it's just really just him coming into his own and just being like, this is easy.
Yeah. Eric, he's just loving the comments.
The comments are just flowing directly into my eyes and going through my heart, and I'm having a difficult time focusing. The comments are on the same level I am.
So I want to keep going through some of these players here, but before I do, I'll wait for Harrison when he gets to that. Let's talk about Jamal Murray tonight, because he was another one that was like, the first game we thought he was a little quiet. maybe we were like, okay, we talked about we don't need to see a good game from him in the preseason, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I thought this counts.
Yeah.
Like this guy, even though the numbers, 24 minutes, he gets 16 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, goes 5 of 10. Like, that's a good game for Jamal. Not a great one, even in those minutes. It's actually pretty good. I would say very good. I thought watching him, I thought he looked awesome.
Yeah, just for the continuation's sake, I felt like I wanted to see like one good quarter.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
need to see
that's
Jamal
all we
press
needed.
for a whole game, and so
Yeah.
this was that night. The first quarter he came out, scored easily, game looked slow to him, a couple of saucy passes down low. The Jokic-Jamal connection looks good. So up top, guys, everything's looking fine.
Dev, can it get better?
Oh,
The
baby.
Jokic Murray 2-man game?
I don't think so. First off, we seen how he was in the bubble. Like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna get Bubble Murray and then we're gonna get Ball Arena Murray, if this is what we're gonna get used to,
Baller
like,
Murray.
this is gonna be great.
Ball Arena, we should mention this was the debut in
This
Ball
wa-
Arena. It's not how I envisioned it.
They just set do you understand the impossibly high standard they've set for Ball Arena?
I know.
This is like every
We win by 30 every
dude,
time.
every time they got down every time the Nuggets were on offense, they scored. Like every single
it
time.
did feel like that.
And Jamal Murray started off the game insanely hot. Then he trailed off. He got a little sloppy. The game,
Yeah,
got,
some turnovers.
yeah,
For sure.
whatever. But like then, yeah, you're right. He locked back in. I don't know. I mean, the story of the season for him is really, again, I mean, that's going to be the talking point, is just whether or not he can hit the bubble heights on a consistent basis. I mean, he wasn't bubble hot tonight, but he was Murray hot tonight. So
Don't you guys feel so much more confident in a 3 for Murray right now than you ever have? I mean, it's just.
I think so.
It's just. It seems like it's going in a way it hasn't in the past.
Yeah. All right. What are we giving him? What kind of grade are we going to give Jamal for tonight's game?
Jamal's.
Yeah. Man, I gave everybody else a 10. Yeah. You know what? F it. I'm doing it. I'm telling you, it's preseason. These grades don't matter. The grades will get harder for me later on, but right now I'm going 10.
I didn't know I was so stern.
You are stern.
I gave him an 8, and I feel a little.
What were
bad
you?
about
So
it now.
yeah, he played 24 minutes. So if he would have played, just a handful more minutes, he would have finished with like 22, 7 and 7.
Yeah, he was Murray hot. He was Murray hot.
Murray
tonight.
hot, man. He was.
But
good.
I mean, that's the thing, is that again, we're talking about things relative to themselves. We've seen what bubble Murray hot is, and like he wasn't bubble Murray hot. That's a 10. Like he was an 8.
Producer Kel, can we hit some music here while we go to our first ad break? We'll throw it to you. Brendan Vogt, you have ad reading duty today, boy. So you got to go for it. But on the other side, guys, we got to talk about PJ Dozier. Facundo Campazzo, not in the start. Does that mean something that he wasn't in that second unit tonight, or does it mean nothing?
I'm going to take this opportunity to pour the rake in.
No,
we don't
No, we need a whole. We need the whole
be rude.
theatrics of it.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
don't be rude.
that's a drink
Get your
it,
hands
but
off of this,
so
bro.
it can be ready here for him. Unbelievable.
Settle down.
All right, go for it. Go for it here.
You're high enough off Nuggets basketball right now. Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR. I'm sure families are looking for some fun outdoor activities during the shutdown. Look no further. Breck has set up an awesome skating rink outside of the farmhouse. It's only $3 to skate with your own skates, $6 for a rental. They also have an awesome tubing hill that is currently free. So to Adam's point, parents, you can enjoy beers, delicious food, and a cozy outdoor setup while you let the kids enjoy some winter Wonderland fun. There is no better way to support DNVR during this crazy time than supporting our partners. Check out the Broncos Country Beer, the Palisade Peach, and what's the new one, guys? The Hazy IPA Juice Drop?
Something like that.
Help me out.
Yeah.
Juice Drop Hazy IPA. I don't know the name, but I know how it tastes. Good. Check it out. Also got to talk to you guys about MSU Denver Online. I'm going to stall while I pull up that read.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Now is the time to apply and register for classes. Spring semester starts January 9th. Team MSU Denver Online is not an A to B lazy online experience. They have a lot of experience in educating you this way. So at this time, when everyone's looking for the safety and the convenience of keeping life turning, keeping those gears turning from their couch, from the safety of home, MSU Denver Online, they've been doing this for years. So check them out. No better place to get your education online. You do not have to stop and wait right now. You can keep your life moving.
All right, so back here, guys, and don't forget, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitter,
Live everywhere.
live on Facebook as well after the games. We prefer you to go and watch on YouTube. We think it's better. There's a great comment section that's always popping, the best quality video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but also know if you missed this show, it pops up as the DNVR Nuggets podcast the following morning. And there's also shows in between these ones as well. Tomorrow I'll be doing a podcast, only a podcast, no live show, notebook edition, where we go through and do all the details. So subscribe to the podcast as well. Open up your phone, go to podcast DNVR Nuggets. Okay, let's keep it moving, guys. You know who else was good tonight? My dad.
Our dad.
Our dad was good tonight. What'd you see out of Paul Millsap? 18 points, It felt like he made all of the points to start the game.
Paul Millsap was as steady can get. He was hitting 3-pointers because, again, somehow he's the highest rated 3-point shooter on this team in the most confusing manner possible. It is easy when you get shots from, again, like 1 foot away from the rim because Jokic just feeds you delicious dimes over and over. But, I mean, Paul looked like Paul. Like, he just picked it right back up from last season. And did he end up being as the leading scorer for the game?
18 points, yep. He sure was.
Yep.
How many games this year is Paul Millsap going to lead the Nuggets in scoring?
It depends what Nikola Jokic wants, really.
You think he was the one that was just like, you know what, Paul tonight?
Paul. Just get Paul going.
Well, you know what? To your point on that, though, there was a lot of Jokic to Paul tonight. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Kenneth Faried. Because Kenneth Faried was always around the rim, playing that dunker spot so well. And he's so good at, like, moving side to side, but also the Nuggets were very good at stretching them out. And maybe it is just the Michael Porter factor. You add one extra floor spacer, all of a sudden there's all this extra room because the pass Jokic kept having tonight was that roll, catch, drop off, and Millsap does something with it. So,
but you know what? Last season, how many times was it Jokic does something awesome and Millsap can't finish? Tonight he finished.
But again, all of this, it's all margins. You know, like you spread the team out just a little bit more, the defense out a little bit more. Those shots at the rim become 1-on-1s or 1-on-0s, and I just felt like that's what Millsap was getting tonight. Granted, I don't think Portland is great defensively, and I don't think that preseason basketball defense is like up to like that's the last thing that's arrived. So. Take all of this with giant grains of salt, but nonetheless, man, it looked easy.
Whatever. The Portland sucks and we're awesome. That's all. The only thing we can take from this.
Rational fans.
So, Deb, Millsap, I thought had one concerning game. Last game, like he looked like he couldn't jump, couldn't finish, couldn't do anything. And then tonight he looks awesome. What's the real Millsap, or is that what we're going to get this year? Roller coaster.
Roller coaster as always.
Okay.
And then it was a game that he got to play. Like he's in those positions where sometimes he's playing, sometimes he's not, depending on who they're against. It was Portland. He's one of the big guys out there. He's the OG. He's you guys' dad. Apparently,
she's not your dad.
Shout out, Dad.
You don't see the resemblance?
Yeah, I don't think he's my dad. He's not my dad. But
unbelievable.
But he could be Papa. Somebody said what? Papa Millsap. He could be Papa Millsap.
Someone's got to be my dad.
Yeah.
I know. Someone has the loathsome task of being my dad.
He leads the team tonight with 18 points, leads them in scoring. He also leads them in minutes, 27 minutes, which I think is kind of interesting. He also led them in field goal attempts. He goes 6 of 10 from the field. Does drain 2 threes. I'm all in on Millsap, the shooter. I just think he's a good shooter.
He is a good shooter.
I mean, he's kind of proven it. Even with his footwork tonight, he had 1 3 tonight where it looked like he was going to shot fake and then like he didn't know what he was going to do, shoots it, and drains it. And you're just like, dude, that was the most awkward footwork. But
he is first team All YMCA.
All YMCA for sure. 18 points, 5 rebounds. Listen, this is such a Paul Millsap stat line. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did it all.
Did it all, baby.
Got the entire thing in there. He looked great tonight. And in particular, his synergy with Jokic looked great tonight. I know that shouldn't be any kind of surprise. Gary Harris tonight. So, guys, first of all, we'll stand out as the 3 turnovers, which I thought was actually 5. I think maybe somebody else got a credit. Oh, we have to go to Millsap. You can interrupt me, dude. There's no formality to this. Paul Millsap, I'm giving everyone's 10s today. I'm feeling too good.
Why are you even?
Why do I even have a?
I'm gonna go a 10 from everyone but me.
There's no way he's not.
Well,
a 10.
Eric, you've always
he had 18 points tonight. Did you
How much
hear
better could he have gotten?
I know, for real. This was a 10.
Am I the one on this panel with the grounded, reasonable takes when it comes to player ratings?
Or could you say why he's not a 10 at least?
He missed that one layup, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like we need to have some rationale. Jokic is a 10. Hartenstein was a 10.
All right.
And Millsap was Millsap, so he's a 9.
I don't know. Nuggets won by 31 tonight. I think there's going to be some. There's going to be some.
I'm back in. You got me. He's a 10.
But if I were to ask you guys who led the team, I know single game plus minus doesn't really, it's misleading or whatever. But if I were to ask you who is the highest team high plus minus, who would you have guessed?
Well, now I'm going to guess Paul Millsap.
No, it wasn't him.
No.
I would have also guessed Paul Millsap.
Highest team plus minus?
Michael Porter Jr. somehow.
I would guess. Yeah,
I would guess Hartenstein.
Nope, you guys all guessed wrong. It was Gary Harris.
What?
Oh.
It was Gary Harris. And again, so here's the thing about the former Mr. Nugget, Mr. Nugget Emeritus.
Yep.
No.
Nice.
He's still Mr. Nugget. He's not lost it.
This is the thing about Gary Harris, man. What he provides primarily is defense. His offense becomes a bonus. And look, tonight, guys, his offense was rough. Like, there was a couple of those shots, those threes. I mean, he had an air ball three-pointer. I mean, it looks like he is trying to – he looks to me like a player that's trying to give himself confidence. Like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm going for it. He keeps going for it, missing. That being said, He does defend.
Absolutely.
Especially in particular Portland. Like
dude, he's incredible.
He's a tailor-made to guard Portland.
He kind of is. That's like his bread and butter here. So anyway, what do you make of it, Brendan? His game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is who I think Gary Harris is on the Denver Nuggets at this point. Maybe if he goes elsewhere, he has a different opportunity, fresh start. We see those other elements of his offensive game return. I just think you're gonna feel like, what's he doing on offense? Crossing my fingers, this three goes in. And then just when you're ready to give up on him and he's going to make a play on the other end of the court, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, he still has value.
Right.
All year long.
I'd even value, like tonight, this is what I'm trying to say is I think this was a good game from Gary.
Right.
It feels like it was a bad game because the missed shots he missed were so bad. But, man, I'm telling you, you just don't score on him. He's almost Drew Holiday level lockdown. Not as versatile because I don't think he's as strong, but you go up against guards like Dame and CJ, lock him up.
It also might be okay. Like if your second unit's going to look good with Will Barton
and
those four guys are starting with you, like it might be okay if Gary Harris isn't doing much.
Yeah.
The thing that's also with Gary Harris is you have Jokic, you have Jamal Murray. You don't need any scoring.
Right.
You don't need much scoring.
So
you need a player that's going to go out there and give great defense. The offense was great tonight. You didn't need him to be good on offense. If he went out,
they scored 126.
If he went out and got 25, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. Yeah.
It was his defense that really like changed the game. And a lot of times when people are going through funks, their defense doesn't show up. They're just not having a good time at all. He's still himself on defense. He's still really active. And also the best part of Gary's game is the full court pass from Jokic and him cutting and slashing and getting to the rim. He's still doing those type of things.
Stuff. Just do that stuff. That's
just
all
do those type of things. And that's exactly what Michael Malone is probably saying to him. Gary Harris probably doesn't think he's in a funk. I'm doing the same things that got me into the league. I'm playing good defense,
right,
and I'm very active on the court. So
he's definitely a guy that needs to cut out the noise because it's true, man. We want players to like sacrifice, and we want them to give up this or that and then play the defense. Like he does the defensive part, he does all of that. Then we're like, well, why didn't he score more? And I think this is why players want to become scorers because like nobody complains about the guy that scored 20. They complain about the guy that scored 4,
right?
Even if the guy that scored 4. But Eric, are we being too optimistic, sunshine and rainbows, because the Nuggets won by 30? Well, yeah, for real.
Well,
let's go to Eric for this
sober us up.
No, but I'm serious. What I'm saying is Gary's offense struggles, his defense is awesome, Nuggets win, and we're like, no biggie. But are we kind of dusting it over under the fridge?
I mean, what? Are we sweeping it under the rug?
Sweeping it under the rug? There
under
it is.
The
fridge.
Under the fridge.
Not a thing, for sure.
You know, like that piece of ice falls and you kick it under the fridge. Nobody does that. You've done that, right?
This week.
Yeah, you're like,
and then it has a puddle, and I'm like, why did I just step in a puddle?
Just because you do it doesn't make it a phrase.
That's a thing. It's a phrase.
That means it's happened.
It's like water under the fridge.
It is water under the fridge. The thing about Gary Harris is that, I mean, what are we supposed to score? 150 points a game? Like,
so true.
Gary Harris, he stole a lot of passes. He disrupted things. He played his role in a really impactful way. He did miss a couple shots, but he made other shots. Like, it's funny because if you look at up and down the roster, Gary had probably one of the more tumultuous games of all of the Nuggets. But that means, like, in a sea of tens, like he's probably an 8 or 7. Like he still played a really great game by a lot of measures. And again, I mean, it remains to be seen what the final form of this Nuggets team actually looks like. I mean, we don't know exactly like what combinations are going to get together on the floor, but you just need different, like you guys are saying, you need different guys to do different things. The starting unit was absolutely working. There was really nothing wrong with it, so it's hard to find fault in anything that was going on.
Another guy to round out the starting lineup now, we've talked about everybody except for one, Michael Porter, and his night tonight, 10 points, 5 rebounds. He goes 3 of 7 from the floor. So to me, if there's one thing from this game that I look at and I go, okay, wasn't perfect, not really concerning, but wasn't perfect, it would be Michael Porter still looks like he's going to be a low. I didn't feel like the Nuggets are going to run a bunch of actions for him. It's still on him to kind of find things within the flow of the offense. This is 2 games in a row now.
Sure.
I don't want to draw too many conclusions, but I do wonder if that process that we all were hoping for, with the 3 of them, Murray, Porter, Jokic, all come together, and it's the perfect harmony, this offense that utilizes all 3 equally, if that's probably just going to be a long-term project, if that. Like it's not going to be a thing that we should have expected at this point.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you were seeing it in preseason game 2, then you're start thinking about parade routes, man.
That's
I mean,
true.
It's like a little bit like this is.
I already have thought about it.
We've
It
been
ends right here at the
Colfax,
DNVR bar,
It
and it
starts
ends
here
right
and
when the
it ends
vaccine
here.
is out and everybody gets to actually attend a parade.
Holy shit.
I agree with you. I mean, I think it's still a lot of standing
Yeah.
around for Michael. And to your point about the plays, like it's not going to be, hey, your number's called. It's going to be cut off ball, go get that offensive rebound, put it back. So, but I just think that'll take time. That's not the kind of thing I'm going to label a problem this early in the preseason.
Yeah. I think he's still trying to find himself, and I think it's really uncomfortable for him. I think it's uncomfortable for the other players because I think like Jokic is kind of like, you see what me and Murray are doing, read the room. And then he's like, well, I'm still really good, but where do I fit in? So I think that he's trying to – it's like double dutch. He's like, when do I jump in? You guys are going so well, and they don't know what to do.
You can tell he's like, oh, yeah, that was a jump roping reference. I like it. It is like double dutch. When was the last time you played double? You played double dutch this year, didn't you?
No, I'm not good at double
Does
dutch.
one play double dutch? Do you play double dutch?
First off, girls are really, really good at it.
I know.
And it's weird because if a ball falls their way, they run out of the way. It's just too scary. But then, they're hard. They're hard jump ropes.
I was
coming
always too
full
tall
speed.
for that. You know?
Yeah, you can't get in the middle
I
of
can't
that.
even imagine that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that he's just really trying to find when I should come in and how do I fit in.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just like, okay, well, I'm used to having the ball. What do I do? So it's going to take some time for them to just, get it together.
Do you think this has – what's the shelf life on that? Because I imagine if we get into game 72 and it's still the same thing, I don't know if that's going to be comfortable.
Well, the thing is, you would assume that Malone would try to make it that in these games that they're blowing teams out or games that they're favored, that you would try to find some type of cohesion, try to get them three all going at the exact same time. I think that a lot of times it's still like, okay, well, I still have to get mine, so it makes it a little bit hard. But at some point, they're just going to have to just keep playing together and getting those minutes on the court together.
Yep. Somebody has made an account called Ice Under Adam's Fridge.
That took 2 seconds.
And back with that, it's like you just you jumped off of like water under the bridge.
That's where it is.
Fridge. Yeah, water under the bridge is the real
It's
thing.
under the fridge.
No, but sweeping under the rug was the first thing.
That's true. You just combined two phrases.
Just murdered two statements and then turned us into something new and beautiful.
That's
Ice
true.
under the fridge.
That's true.
It's
man.
like the LaMelo Ball. I don't know knowing too much about the outside.
I don't be knowing
I don't be
blogger
knowing too much about the outside world. I don't know. The MPJ thing, I'm just going to say, I think it's going to be a storyline all year, and we don't want to blow it out of proportion. I think it's hard, analyzing this on a minute-by-minute, case-by-case basis. But look, I think the hardest thing any team can do is integrate a third player. Yep. I mean, let's talk about LeBron James and the Cavs. Kyrie and LeBron. Kevin Love's an all-star. But he wasn't there. He had to become the third guy. You had Chris Bosh. Would you do the same situation there? Well, he could have carried a team, to certain heights.
Does it feel a little drafty in here?
It's really hard to get.
Oh, my gosh. Here comes a gust of wind.
A wind is blowing.
He's here.
So I just think my point with MPJ is that I thought tonight, the ball's clearly going to have to find him within the flow of the offense. And for the second game in a row, it didn't quite find him, like that. But at the same time, I don't think that's a concern. I just think it's a thing that's going to have to unspool over time. Harrison.
Hey.
Fellas.
How did that go?
So I was up there for a while because we're still waiting for Will Barton. And a little inside basketball. When we were in the locker rooms at Pepsi Center after games, Will Barton is the last guy to come out. So
Want to go grab it? It's so good. We don't want to miss Will Barton.
Oh, yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, so media's still waiting on Will Barton, but I thought I'd come on the show.
Yeah, I think that was a good call.
We like you on the show.
So tell us, Harrison, you spoke with Michael Malone. What did he have to say about this game?
Michael Malone was in such a good mood after this game. He actually kept wanting to answer questions from the media, even though we ran out of questions. Nuggets PR said last question, and he wanted to keep going. So it's a little bit of a gauge in terms of what kind of mood he was in.
What is this world in which we found ourselves?
I'm telling you, I think Jokic is the same way. I'm telling you, this is a thing. And we've heard this coming out of camp, that there's a good energy with this team. And I think part of that is because they are a group that is capable of 39 assists.
Yep.
They got this on their second game together. Granted, it's preseason. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of guys that can get the ball popping on this roster and that are willing to do that. And I think that's what you saw tonight, largely, was a team. You saw a team.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, Malone started off with, of course, the defense he thought was phenomenal. And, I mean, You held Portland to 95 points.
We got a Munder. We didn't even remember.
We got a
God.
Munder in the preseason.
A preseason Munder.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
We didn't even notice the Munder. What's happened? What has become of us?
Held them under 100.
Yeah, but 39 assists on 45 field goals. 39 assists, that would have been a season high last year.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy total. It's a crazy total. And that's my biggest takeaway from this game. Like, I said it on, I forget what player preview I said it on, but I think this can be the best offense Nuggets have had under Michael Malone.
Unbelievable.
And this is case in point, man. They have never had this much offensive talent. And maybe more importantly, the playmakers.
Right. I think that's it.
Yeah. The Doziers, the Campazzos, the Bartons, like all of those guys, they've just never had this collection of playmakers together. And I just think the offensive ceiling of this team is so freaking high. Also, 46 threes.
Yeah.
That they attempted tonight.
Oh, that's a great point.
We know that's been a point of emphasis.
That's a great point.
And, I mean, the ball was absolutely popping tonight. They got tons of paint threes. They got tons of driving kicks, tons of threes out of pick and roll. So, Michael Malone, I think a reason why he was happy was a lot of the things they've been talking about came to fruition tonight.
Yeah. What things specifically?
Well, the threes. I just think the ball movement in general, the defense also. He wasn't happy about the turnovers, 23 turnovers from Denver tonight. 5 of those from Jokic, but I think a lot of that was him just kind of pushing the envelope, seeing how what he could actually do out there in a preseason game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but I just think this game compared to last game, it was just kind of the Nuggets showing a lot of the points that they've probably been going over in practice. Yeah. That's what I would guess.
Yeah.
The craziest thing about tonight is that we have spent the last 2 weeks gassing up this team, and somehow we undersold them.
Well, it's one preseason game.
No,
Let's hold our horses here. But
we're talking about of course.
The team we saw tonight certainly looked like the best, the best version of what we've been talking about. So Malone's happy.
Thrilled.
Happy camper.
Absolutely thrilled.
That's great.
Yeah.
What else did he have to say?
So a lot of talk about the second unit, obviously.
We haven't even talked about him yet, so
saving him for me. Perfect.
We're saving him for you.
He said that he thought the second unit was, quote, phenomenal. And this was when he was talking about Will Barton. Obviously, Will Barton was a big part of that. On Isaiah Hartenstein, he made some really nice passes tonight. We were really intrigued and excited about his athleticism, his ability to screen and roll. The ball was flying. Everybody was part of that. Backing up Nikola Jokic is never an easy job.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But a couple things. One, I've been getting yelled at a lot. It's Hartenstein. We got to all really Stein.
I feel like we're going to mess that one up all season long.
What'd you say? It goes. Yeah, well, Kale, you did tell us so. Kale's always right. We never listen to him. But
Kale's first off seldom right, but we should listen to him more
often.
But
you mentioned something in there, Harrison, that I think is important that we didn't talk on. When we already did talk about Hartenstein a little bit. But one thing we did mention was his screening. Mm-hmm. So he reminds me of the game, the 7. Vlatko just set those solid screens, and it stood out how much it was. I think Hartenstein's similar in that, one, he sets good screens, but also he sets a lot. He kind of just is always looking for someone to screen with, and that's, I think, a great skill for a backup center. A great
especially when you got you're playing with 3 point guards on the second unit.
There's a lot of guys to find. Yeah.
Michael Malone on Paul Millsap, who quietly had 18 and 5. Maybe not so quietly, because I feel like I remember every one of his
because we laughed after every single one of them.
Yeah. My hope is that Paul can win a championship here to finish his resume, because that's the only thing missing. How about that quote?
I agree with him, man. I am in agreement. I would love for him to win a championship here.
Let me inhale that quote a little.
But to be talking about the championship, in a preseason game, that just goes to tell how much they really do believe in this team. Not underselling, or not trying to say hey, let's not get our expectations too high or things like that. It seemed like they were alluding to earlier a couple weeks back. But now for them to actually be talking about a championship and for older guys to get championships, they truly do believe that they could do that. Yeah, that's wild to hear.
It's unbelievable. It's just the culture change that has happened in the Denver Nuggets. It's remarkable. I mean, consider 3-2-1 Cancun, which happened, what was it, 5-6 years
7 years ago?
100 years ago.
Yeah, it was actually 100 years ago. Yeah.
To where we are now, where the coach in the second preseason game is talking in very serious terms, very earnest terms about winning a championship, and not just in the way that every coach talks about winning a championship, like in a way where, I mean, obviously this is the second preseason game, but you just look at but you just look at it, a team functioning together, and that's what that looks like. Just there are things that they did tonight on the court that are not defendable. Yeah. Even if you have a scouting report, even if you are, going out and trying to cut certain things off, like the Nuggets just balled out. Like and every player was just hitting shots, and every player was having fun out there, and like it just felt good through and through. It just is exactly what you want out of sports. Everything you want out of sports. Like it just felt like we were being rewarded for having faith in this team. I mean, again, this is the second preseason game. I'm trying to not to go too hyperbolic, but it just felt fantastic to watch that game.
Yeah.
What else? Who else spoke?
So we've got Paul and Jamal here. I want to hit on one other thing from Malone, though, because on the topic of the second unit, Facu wasn't a part of it. He wasn't a part of the main bench group.
We haven't talked about that yet.
And I think that was one of the most intriguing storylines to come out of tonight's game. Barton in and Facu out. And look, Michael Malone, I asked him about this postgame, just how tough that decision is. And he had one of his classic lines, if I wanted to make everybody happy, I'd sell ice cream. We've heard that line like 5 times over the last 2 years.
It's a good line. What a good line.
But Tim Connolly, every single season, loads this team up with so much talent. It makes for really tough decisions that Malone has to make every single year. And look, this year's no different. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
So you feel, or you got the sense of, Facu not playing tonight was more of an indication of because this is one of my questions. Was this just, let's try this, let's try that, and then we'll settle on it later? Or do you feel like Facu at this very moment is the 11th guy in a 10-man rotation?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think he's going to play a lot more than a typical 11th man. Like, I don't think being the 11th man is necessarily out of the rotation completely.
Yeah. I do get that. I mean, we talked about this early on, or we've been talking about this. Like, I feel like the rotation is going to be larger than you would expect, just because there's just too much talent on that. You just can't keep that much talent down. Like, Tim Connolly has done almost a disservice to Michael Malone with just the undeniably good players that are on this team. Every player on this team is good. Every player on this team is good. Like last year, that was absolutely not the case. There were end of the bench guys that you were like, yeah, that guy probably just needs to stay on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know. This year's even better though. You're right.
Yeah,
this year's even more. So.
Yeah, we have like our Keita Bates Diops, we have our Noah Vonleys, things of that nature. Where they don't get in the game, and you're like, oh, I kind of forgot they were on this team. This is like, man, we didn't even see R.J. Hampton tonight. We've not seen Greg Whittington. Like. I don't know what to do with myself. What do I do with my hands? Like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Dev, what do you make of tonight, Facu not being with that second unit? Experiment or maybe a hint of where he's at right now?
Well, it all goes to, like, Malone and just seeing how Malone has been over the years. It seems like Malone covers his own ass. Like, everybody's so high up on a player, and he's just like, okay, well, let me bench him now so that they know what's about to happen. And they can't be mad when it does happen.
All right.
Like, Michael Porter Jr., when he got hot, everybody's like, put him in the game, put him, you have to play him and things like that. And he's like, we'll see. Same with Nikola Jokic. He benched him for a while.
For sure.
And then he finally played. He finally started, and that's when he really stood out. It takes a while for him, and I think that he just, like, if the expectations are high, I think he tries to lower it. And also I think that he's kind of like a stern dad too. He's like trying to protect them too. Like if he has a bad game or if he's like not doing well, I'm going to like lower the expectations so that you guys are not thinking that Facu has to do this exact same thing every single game. Because when he doesn't, you guys are going to be upset. So I think that it's on both sides of just like, let's calm down just a bit.
Right. And it's funny because I thought Facu was great tonight. He plays third string tonight, and he was as exciting in smaller minutes. And that pass he had to Vlatko. Yeah. I remember when it happened live, I was like, what a horrible pass. And then the ball bounces backwards, and you're like, oh.
Play of the year. Calling it right now. Play of the year.
It's not the play of the year. But it was
to this point, absolutely.
2 games in. I guess we can call it that. But he's it's interesting. I also wonder with him, I mean, I don't know him at all. I do know that he has taken enormous personal sacrifice to be here, and you wonder, like a player being 11th guy, would they be happy? But I'll tell you what, tonight he seemed absolutely thrilled to be out on the court. he didn't pull a Bol Bol from game 1 where it was like he looked like he was a sad sack. But let's talk. Actually, what else do you have from your notes in here?
Paul Millsap said it was beautiful to see Will Barton back on the floor and running the second year. And I agree with that. Another interesting thing that we've seen in 2 preseason games now, Paul Millsap sliding to backup center.
Right. Yes, we have seen that. Yeah.
I felt like we might see it, and we definitely have. He said he feels great about it. He's down with it. He
27 minutes, a team high 27 minutes, kind of funny.
For Millsap?
Yeah. Because I would have predicted he goes under 27 minutes in the regular season.
Team high.
Let alone a preseason game, but
yeah. Jamal and Paul just kind of spoke about the offense, and they could definitely feel that the ball was moving, the ball was popping.
Oh my God!
I mean, this is what the Nuggets offense can look like, and everybody was so unselfish tonight. I thought Will Barton, his playmaking on the second unit was exceptional tonight. That was maybe the biggest thing that stood out about his game, just kind of his drive and kick game, how he was setting others up. I thought he was just great tonight.
Yeah, man, I love it. Should we hit another break here? On the other side, we're gonna drink some rakia.
Heck yeah, we're
gonna do a little hot box and hot takes, but we also need to talk about composure. Zeke Naji made an appearance. Bol Bol made an appearance. It was fun. I don't want to miss those guys, even if we go a little bit short on them. But we'll hit our ad break here, and then we'll finish up on the other side. Don't forget, hit that like button.
Smash
hit the subscribe button so you don't ever miss us. You don't want to miss us. We don't want to miss you.
I miss you already.
I miss you guys.
I know. We miss you too, Dev, even when we're with you.
So we got Dev doing the ad breaks, right?
Superstar Dev.
You guys
Let's
don't
go,
want me
Dev.
doing
You know
ad
what?
breaks.
we should actually make it. That should be an initiation. I think Friday.
You
Dev's
guys
doing
don't
the
want
ads.
me doing it. You might not have any more sponsorships.
They all leave.
They're like, he was horrible. Talked about nothing.
Dev, just to let you know, I've done the ad reads before, and we haven't lost sponsors. So
not yet.
Oh, we might have.
Yeah.
Do we know? I don't know. You guys can subscribe now and save 20% with a Strava Craft Coffee subscription. I could actually go for some Strava Craft Coffee right about now. You can subscribe again, like I said, and save 20% off Strava Craft Coffee. Get your coffee every 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 weeks. It's packed with CBD, of course, which has been known to help cure long-term migraines, back pain, arthritis, IBS, lots of other stuff as well. Get it for 20% off with the code DNVR20. And also, I need to amend this read. I'm not going to make the same mistake
fix this
that
one,
I did
man.
the first time, but we know a certain team won the NBA championship last season, and obviously the season has kicked off here.
Asterisk.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is here to kick off the 2021 basketball season with a no-brainer for all customers, new and existing. I've already taken advantage of this. My bet is locked in. My free $25 is locked in. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you plus 75 point spread on a team of your choice on opening night. That's right. All you have to do is bet on any opening night game, and if your team doesn't lose by more than 75 points, you will double your money.
I'm going to bet on the Denver Nuggets.
You can bet on the New York Knicks if you want. Make sure to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR when you sign up to get a plus 75 point spread on opening night and a shot to double your money. That's code DNVR to get a shot at doubling your money on opening night for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
All right, good stuff. All right, back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast. So, okay, let's talk about JaMychal Green really quickly. He goes 0-4 tonight. As Vogt said, he's still waiting on his moment. He gets 0 points. He was a plus 11. Any notes from him? Any thoughts about him?
He has to be like a really, really good guy. Nobody ever talks bad about him. He has bad games. It's just like, all right, whatever. Let's go around him.
But he does. You do need low usage guys, and maybe that's just him. Maybe he's just the fifth guy, no matter what lineup he's in, and he's cool with it.
He comes in and he does the same thing that Millsap does in Jeremy Grant. But if they have a bad game, everybody talks about them having a bad game. For some reason, JaMychal Green never gets any type of anything. Actually,
we don't really know him quite well enough yet.
That's true.
He just doesn't
give us time.
He just doesn't seem quite comfortable yet with whatever system the Nuggets run and whatnot. And I mean, I can't really blame him. There was like no training camp or whatever, but his shot doesn't seem like it's there. I mean, he's a better shooter than what he's shown. He's really struggled from three so far, but he's just not comfortable yet, I don't think.
Right. PJ Composure, PJ Dozier, he goes for 15 points tonight.
Did he really?
6 rebounds, 3 assists. He goes 5 of 8 from the floor. Yeah, he was draining threes. He goes 3 of 6. He goes 3 of 6 from 3 tonight. What'd you see out of him tonight, Harrison?
It was interesting. We were talking about it during the game, and he's always aggressive when he's out there.
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, sometimes too aggressive.
Yeah.
He had a couple turnovers, 2 of them, I think. And I mean, if he's hitting threes,
if he's hitting threes, he's like a really good NBA player. This is why he's been on the fringe, is because his shot is really not great,
right.
But tonight it was.
I mean, he's not a 50% three-point shooter. If he's a 35, 36, 37% three-point shooter, he's got to play.
Yeah.
So for that, I thought he had a great night.
And then you combine him with Will Barton. What I like is him and Will Barton have a lot of similarities. Will Barton's just a better shooter than him. Yep. But they're both long. They both can handle. They both can play pick and roll. They both can defend with length. You play them side by side tonight, and I wonder if that's also just a good combo. I don't remember ever thinking about the Will Barton-PJ Dozier combo. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought about those guys in tandem, but we saw it tonight, and it worked.
Mostly because Dozier really wasn't playing much, and then when he finally did play, Barton was out of the bubble. He didn't play at all.
That's a good point.
So that's the only reason that you didn't see it. But they do the exact same things on the court. So it's like they know what it's going to do. They're also just out there playing. Neither one of them are shy. They're going to shoot the ball. They're going to be aggressive the entire time they're going to attack. So when you have 2 guys attacking from different wings that really do know like how to play off of each other, because it's kind of like just street ball. Like they're just out there playing. Yeah. They're going to get buckets and things of that nature. But he's a big guard. He's really, really big. He could play 1 through 3. So it makes it a lot easier for him to it just comes natural. He's a natural scorer.
Yeah. Monte Morris also, I thought tonight, just really solid. It's funny how he's just solid everywhere he goes.
Solid,
he played with a different lineup tonight, did everything right, knocked down 2 3-pointers, and when he shot him, you felt great about him. My prediction that he'll lead the team in 3-point scoring. Looking
well,
like
it's either going to be him or PJ Dozier based on tonight.
2 last guys I want to talk about here. Zeke Naji gets back into the game. He drains a 3 as well, goes 1 of 1 right from the corner, 4 points, 1 rebound in 9 minutes. Continues to just look like he belongs. Maybe not in the rotation, but he looks like a guy that I'm like, yeah, man, that's an NBA player.
Just really smooth. The jumper is smooth. Like that's the thing that just really stands out, having a guy that big that could just step out and space the floor. And he's still hitting shots. Yeah. We haven't even seen him in, like, big minutes or anything like that. Like, when he gets in there, he makes his shot, he just goes back. It's just kind of just like that's what he does. He gets his buckets.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't get attacked on defense. He looks like he really belongs. It looks like he's like we talked about JaMychal Green not knowing, like, he doesn't look comfortable. Zeke is just like, I'm here. Like, you can just put him in any spot. I'm excited to see him with the starters or see how he would look in these pressure moments, because right now we haven't.
Yeah, he looks like a player that you can just expect so much from in the future. Like I don't know how much we're going to get from him this season, but he's so solid. Like I mean, like you're talking.
You
about
like him, huh? You're a Zeke guy,
dude. It's like Dev is saying, like his jump shot is beautiful. It's so technically sound. He doesn't make crazy plays. He does the right thing every time he's given the opportunity, which to this point has been minimal. But he's still impressed in that small amount of time, which says quite a bit.
So as we're doing this, I guess we can get to Bol Bol first. We have a Will Barton quote that we're going to throw out here very quickly. And then, of course, Brennan Vogt's going to come down and let us know exactly the intonation of which it was spoken. But the last guy's Bol Bol, it appears. I think we can now read into it. We didn't know the first game what we would make of it. I'm going to go ahead and say it looks like he's on the outside of the rotation getting in. He came in with Vlatko Cancar, so he comes in. But you know what? If he's going to be I was hoping that he could crack the rotation, and there's time. Like, maybe this is just a process, and he works his way into it. But as far as human victory cigars go, Bol Bol's pretty good. 6 minutes tonight. He gets 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He drains a 3. Every single second he was on the court was fun and fantastic, man. Wind.
It's too bad he's not going to begin the rotation, because it would make Nuggets games a lot more fun. But
he got boxed out by Enes Kanter on a free throw where it looked like a child. He just pushed him out and grabbed the board.
He probably shouldn't be in the rotation. He shouldn't be.
Right.
The Nuggets have 10 guys that I would play over Bol Bol. They probably have 11 guys, maybe 12, that I would play over him right now.
Yeah, his scoring almost feels like a novelty. And you're right, Adam. I mean, he made a lot of like really he just wasn't technically there. He wasn't like in the game. He was out of position a lot. And then
it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, but then he was like, I got to do something. I'm like only on the court for 4 minutes. So then he just like started jacking up shots and they all went in.
7 shots in 6 minutes, man.
Yeah.
It's funny because one of the things I've been hearing out of camp is that he's a little gun shy, that they wanted him to shoot more like when he's open. And then you see 7 shots in 6 minutes. Bol,
he definitely got that message, I'd say.
Deb, what do you think?
The thing with Bol Bol is he's like, you remember in high school when you watch the JV players, like you watch them play, he's the best player in the JV team.
Yeah. Oh, then he swings up,
And you're just like rooting for him the entire time. Like, this is our best JV player. Like, that's just the type of player he is. Like, you're rooting for them the whole time. And he's really talented, but he just doesn't fit. And he's just not quite ready yet. Hopefully he gets there, and it'll come with him just getting more familiar. But he's not there right now. And you can see when you get in at the exact same time as, like, Vlatko and Marcus Howard and players like that, it just makes it really hard.
Oh, we got to say, Marcus Howard, by the way, I told you guys he was bucket. And if you watch the video up for members only, or was that one public? I think the Marcus Howard one was public.
Yeah,
it's up on our YouTube channel, our scouting report. I did 15 minutes on his shot making. I literally did 15 minutes. And what you saw tonight, he's 1 for 1 in the NBA. All incredible jumper. I still don't know if he's an NBA player, but man, if you need to get a crazy shot off, James Harden-esque step back, rainbow 3, drained it.
That shot he hit tonight was exactly the type of threes that he makes. The contested step back.
I showed you guys a bunch of those ones, not even just the ones that made the video.
It was a carbon copy of what we saw tonight. Yeah. Incredible.
That's hilarious. That guy's hilarious. All right. So you texted, I think it's going around. I'm sure people have seen. Well, Barton has a quote. We've been talking about him and Sixth Man of the Year. What is it? Or, what does he want?
I come bearing an update. Will Barton III, credit to Kendrew Andrews of The Athletic, who just asked him, Will, you've said you are a starter in this league, but tonight she said you looked like a natural sixth man out there. What do you think of playing that role if it comes to that, if Malone asks you to be that? And he said, quote, I have no plans on being the sixth man. I have no desire to be that at all. If you're wondering if this sounded differently than it reads, no, it sounded that way. And he said, look, the reason I look comfortable out there with that group is because that's how good of a basketball player I am and that I can fit in with just about anybody.
Well, that's some water under the fridge.
Look, with this stuff, I've been on the side of, don't make it a problem until it is a problem. Right. A lot of guys are competitors and they want to start, but if you're wondering if Will Barton's eager to embrace the six-man role, we have our definitive answer.
Yeah. What do we make of this, Wind?
Man.
We cracked the rock, yeah.
This is tough because Michael Malone talked about this the other day, how at the Nuggets team dinner, his theme of the night, and there's always a central theme to every team dinner. We know this. His theme of the night was sacrifice. I think this was the theme last year too. But very good players, starter level players, would have to sacrifice their role, some minutes, if this team was going to achieve their goals this season. And I'm pretty sure he was talking about Will Barton.
Man.
I can't say I'm surprised that Will Barton said this. We know this is how he feels. We know he's definitely a starter level player. It's something that is very important to him. I'm not sure. I'm
a tiny bit surprised. I actually thought he was going to say something along the lines of that's how I feel, but he's also said his goal is to win a championship. And it may be the case that to help this team win a championship, it's 30 minutes off the bench. And I was expecting an answer along those lines, but Will is not mincing his words. He believes he's paid his dues and he's good enough to start.
Wow. It's very awkward. You could believe that. And I think that every guy should believe that. But to come out and just continue to say it, that makes it really awkward. Especially just looking at it, he's going to be the sixth man. Like, he's the sixth man. Yeah. And for you to be so adamant about it, what happens when he does go to the bench? We've all been talking about vibes and how great everybody's been feeling. One bad apple could ruin that whole bunch. If you see a guy that keeps on talking about it, or if everybody's up after a win and he's not, it brings everybody down. So hopefully Will changes that, because we've seen, Will is one of the nicest people on the team. He comes and he gives the fist bumps to media guys and things of that nature. He's really down.
Every teammate loves him.
He's great. So for him to say that, it was just really is different.
It's tough because we don't think he's wrong. He's one of the 5, in my opinion, he's one of the 5 best players on this team, and he's really talented and fits into a bunch of different lineups. But it is. I think Malone's right about this one thing. It is all about sacrifice this year. And here's where George Karl has really talked about this a lot on the Keep It at 1000 pod. But when you're in a contract year, as Will Barton is, he has a player option next year. He could pick that up or he could not and try to enter free agency and get his last big contract. And when you're doing that, whether it's right or wrong, because I got all the European players always ask me this, like, why are American players always obsessed with starting? Well, it's because the money's attached to it. Whether it's fair or not, whether it's smart or not, you start, you're a starter, and then he gets, if he starts this year and goes into an off season, he's a starter that's willing to go to the bench. Right. A starting caliber. If he's on the bench this year, it's like, well, he's a sixth man, and who knows how long he has left or whatever. So there can be these things that can sort of affect him negatively, so I'm sure it's going through his head. But to win a championship, an NBA championship, to achieve the highest goal, it takes sacrifice from every single player. And that certainly gives me a little bit of concern that maybe he's not willing to make that sacrifice personally.
The thing that I want to know is, who does he think he's starting over?
It's got to be Gary.
At the two.
Or Will. Actually, or MPJ. It is possible.
You know what, though, guys? I'll say this. There might not be a bigger support for Michael Porter Jr. on that team than Will Barton. I think I don't know. I mean, look, he would take his starting spot if it was given to him over Michael, but I do think what we're talking about is the shooting guard spot.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a downer on a really positive night.
I know, dude. My bad.
All right. Well, why don't you bring us into an upper? Because we have to. We just opened Ball Arena. We have to. Let's have ourselves a shot. So I'm told from Serbia. This is a. Go ahead and read the label here. What are we drinking? What did Chris Morley bestow upon us?
Stara Skokalava.
Oh, perfect pronunciation.
And it says
he nailed it.
Vigila Makava, Williams Pear Brandy.
we just lost 5
We did. We got downvoted.
I literally like, if you gave me an hour to pronounce this word here, I wouldn't be able to do it.
You're not that great at reading.
I'm not going to read it. This is all water under the fridge, and it's going to be pear brandy right down our gullets.
He has a heavy hand. Like, look how big that shot was.
But you're supposed. This is a sipping situation.
This is a sipping. It's like a dessert here. So we love it. I'm telling you, we have all these new Argentine followers. We really want to get to know all of you as well, our Serbian followers. We love and embrace. They embraced us back, and here we have this taste of Serbia here. Did you just sip it?
Nope, that was just from smelling it.
It's very strong.
There's a lot of pear going on here. A lot of pear.
I'm having a hard time smelling the pear through the pure alcohol smell.
If only Serbia wouldn't sue us if we played our Serbian drinking song, but we can't do it. So you could just sing it in your head. All right,
Serbia.
What is our cheer? Do you remember the cheer in Serbian?
Not at all.
Oh God, we're gonna really
Serbia. We're so sorry.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Serbian cheer. How to say cheers in Serbia? This is really taking a while. Well, turns out we can't. Zaveli.
Zaveli, that's right.
Is that right? It means cheers. Zaveli. Everybody. Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Love to hear all your drinking sounds in my ears.
Oh,
dude,
man.
I'm a fire-breathing dragon.
Yep.
That's definitely a sipper.
That is a sipper.
Wow.
Definitely a sipper.
You know what's growing on me? I taste the pear.
That will wake you right up.
I would say I'm honking like a goose, but I think I've lost my ability to honk.
It's backwards. It's nasty, and then it becomes
and then it gets good. Yeah, it's like it hurts. Then it feels so good,
if
man.
you take a shot of that, though.
Zaveli. I'm going to try a little bit more here.
Again,
I'm washed.
So now let's talk about what Will Barton had to say.
That's so intense.
Woo! I am honking like a goose.
Oh my God!
All right, for this, it is a Serbian tradition that when you drink rakia, you hotbox and hot take. So Eric, many people don't know that's a tradition, but it is. Give us a hotbox and hot take. Do you have our graphic, Kel? Can we hotbox?
Let's see. What is my hotbox and hot take? I believe that the Denver Nuggets are going to be as good as we witnessed them be tonight. I think that we honestly saw
every night's a 30-point win, boys. I'm ready for it.
I'm all about offense.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold a Munder every night, but I think that they'll be able to. The offense that we saw on display, like I said, I think there's a lot of things that we saw that won't be able to be defended. The Nuggets were just hitting shots. They're not going to hit the shots with this level of frequency every night, but the shots were open. And granted, I mean, Portland didn't watch film and they didn't scheme for the Nuggets in this game, but that's a lot of the nights in the NBA where you just roll in and you play the Atlanta Hawks. You're going to be gone the next night. They watched film, sort of, and the Nuggets are just going to rain hellfire down from above, and I can't wait.
Somebody in the comments says that Rocky, it's bad at first, but then you get used to it. Kind of like D-line.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Appreciate that.
Wow.
Whoa. Hey, man, it was a good bird. I got to.
That was an exquisitely sick bird. I appreciate it.
Oh, you want to go? Hot box and hot take?
Oh, no. Sorry, go ahead. You're good.
No, I want you to give a hot box and hot take.
Just any take at all?
About the Nuggets.
Make it hot.
All right.
Make it hot. Heat
All
it
right.
up.
Man.
Jokic for MVP.
It doesn't even feel that hot. It feels like lukewarm. Dev, hot box and hot takes, baby.
I think that not only is Will Barton going to be the sixth man, he's going to be in the running for sixth man of the year.
I hope so.
You will eat your vegetables and you will like it, Will Barton. That's what you think's going to happen.
I think he's going to be a great sixth man. It's not.
Well, of course. That's the thing that's so crazy about this is he actually would be great at it.
He looks exactly like Jamal
Crawford,
yes, in that role. Like he has that same sort of look. He looks like Lou Williams.
He's feeling it already.
Absolutely, I am feeling it already.
Yeah, if only he'd embrace it. Harrison, give us a hot box and hot take.
The Denver Nuggets will have the best offense in NBA history.
What?
This season.
Yes,
Dude, how much Rocky did you just drink, man?
He took a shot.
Not
He took
enough.
a shot. He took it up to 11.
Harrison's bold takes. I mean,
His
he's got
bold takes are-
Marcus Howard in the playoff rotation. So
He's also like PJ Dozier will play some wing. He also has like not hot takes at all. I'm gonna go with one, guys. You guys know my favorite phrase when I'm watching Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets play.
the ball is popping.
Ball is popping. I think we're gonna be saying that a lot tonight or this year. I
Yeah,
think
We did say it a lot.
we
Tonight.
did say it all the
That's
time.
your
but
hot
I'm telling you,
take?
I'm telling you right now, guys. We are in for the quintessential ball is popping season.
Holy
Quintessential ball is popping season
Holy
incoming,
snipes.
baby.
in the ball
And
arena.
it's going to be in the ball arena. The ball arena happened, and the ball is going to get popping. Thank you, everybody who tuned in to watch this one live. Everybody that's listening to this as a podcast. Remember, if you miss one, you can do the other. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a Notebook Pod solo, so you're going to want to be subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Smash it,
And if you
smash
want to
it.
get this awesome merch, we have our entire merch store. You can't see it, but it's all over here. We have the coolest merch in town. DNVR gear. Head on over to the DNVR Locker. Head on over to thednvr.com, and you can subscribe for $5. You get access to all the cool shit that we have behind the paywall. So thanks, everybody. Go Nuggets.
Let's go.
Let's go.